Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be building an automation that will qualify a spreadsheet of potential leads for your company. This automation is specifically designed for BDRs and SDRs who are going to be sending cold emails. We want to keep our domain reputations in good standing, so by qualifying companies before you actually send emails, you're making sure that this is a target audience. If you send emails to people who your service isn't fit for or has no relation to them, they're gonna flag you as spam. This is gonna damage your domain reputation, so you need to ensure that you're emailing the right people. Normally you would go and qualify companies yourself by looking through their website, or if you're using a lead provider, maybe you can read through their profile, but it takes about a minute to qualify each company without AI by just going to their websites. But with this automation, you can have AI do the qualifying for you. So that's exactly what we're going to build today in make.com. Let's jump right into it. So here's the spreadsheet I'm working with right here. We got about 300 companies total. I am missing a website. I am going to retrieve this right now. I'm going to have ChatGPT create a formula that will pull the domain name directly from the email address, anything after the @ sign. If you're not using ChatGPT to create these advanced formulas for you, you're missing out. But let's go prompt AI right now. Create me a formula to take the domain after the @ in an email address in column, located in column E, located in column E inside of Excel. Format the domain like www dot domain in email. Okay, so we should get a high level formula. You know, most people would not know this off the top of their head, so that's why we use AI to create this for us. So let's go ahead and paste that in. www.aacusa. Looks good. Pull it all the way down. And now we have the domains. This is important because AI is going to search this domain, this website, when they're actually qualifying for you. We'll get to that in a little bit. But this spreadsheet is good to go. I don't have Excel connected to make.com. I use Google Sheets. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this whole spreadsheet. Copy. I'm going to make sure to save it. We're going to go and create a new spreadsheet inside of Google Sheets. All right, there we go. Okay. We'll name this qualifying sheet. Okay, we're gonna go and name this raw leads, and we're gonna come over here and we're going to do qualified leads as the name, and we're just gonna copy this over. So essentially the automation is going to go through each of these lines, and then if it's a qualified company, it's going to dump it into this spreadsheet right here. And what we will have at the end of this automation, after all 300 rows are searched, is a full spreadsheet of qualified leads. So let's go in and create a new scenario. First thing we're going to do is we're going to search the first row of that spreadsheet. We're going to be using this account. And the name is qualifying sheet. Qualifying sheet. Okay. We are searching the raw leads sheet. And we're going to search. So one thing that we're going to do is we're going to add sent, and essentially this is the cell that we're searching every time. After every run, we're going to update this with sent, and this row will not be searched again because we've updated that row. I'm actually in the wrong spreadsheet here. So let's go over, paste it in right there. So the first row where sent is empty, it's going to search. And after each run, it's going to update this cell with something, whatever you want. We'll use sent. Okay, so we'll have to reload the sheet because we've added that new column in. Sent does not exist. We're gonna search one row at a time here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use Perplexity to search the website and do research about the company at hand. It's going to spit out a summary of that company, and then I'm gonna have a ChatGPT module look at that summary and decide whether it could be a company I could work with. Okay, so I already have an automation set up that does this at a pretty high level. Over here it segments off based off of the type of company, the industry, because the industry and what we need out of them is very different. So it's better to segment it off rather than give one single ChatGPT everything about all the industries. This Perplexity right here is what does the actual research. So we can just copy that module and just paste it in over here, connect it. We're gonna get rid of this filter, save. We're gonna need to update the company. That is the company name and the website here. Okay, so if you take a look, I have a single user prompt. So this is what I'm saying. Research the website and online presence of the company name at their main URL here. Focus only on publicly available and factual information from their official website or credible business directories. Return a short structured summary that includes, and I go into everything that I would need to know about a company in order to decide whether or not it's a company that I could work with. So those are the questions that I ask down below. Pause the video if you are really interested, but I'm gonna move on. I'm just gonna save that. And from that company research, I need a ChatGPT module to qualify that company. The module I want is right here. We're gonna go and paste that over. Get rid of the filter. Save. And we just need to update the Perplexity inside here. So that's this right here is the Perplexity from the old automation. It turns black because that input does not exist anymore. So it's a little deep inside of Perplexity, but it's in here. Content is what the output of the Perplexity is. Okay. And then the next thing that we need to do is we need to add a row if it's qualified. So if this row is qualified, the first searched row, we need to add it to the qualified list. And we are going with add a row. We got the right accounts. Qualifying sheets. Sheet name. Now we're going to the qualified leads. And then we're just going to update every single row that exists. I don't really need all of them, but let's just do it. Okay, we don't need sent. Doesn't matter for this spreadsheet. We're going to save. And we need to add the filter so that only qualified leads pass through. Currently, I have it set up so that the output could be either qualified, not qualified, or needs review. We will add the need, we'll let the needs review pass through, and we're actually going to add that cell in as well. The sent or the qualified cell in so that we can then go in and review those unsure qualifications. That'll be helpful. So what we can do is qualification. Make sure the formatting is consistent. Okay. And we need to set up that filter. So qualified. The results is not equal to not qualified, because that is the exact results that will be outputted from this module. We'll double check that. So you can see here, only output one of three options: qualified, not qualified, or needs review. If it's not qualified, it'll pass through. And then one thing that we need to add in is we need to update this row once it's been searched. Update it with sent so that row is not searched again. We need to add that in before this filter, because if we have the update row down here and it's not qualified, that row will not be updated and we'll just go ahead and search it over and over and over again. So we will just do that. Let's do it in between the AIs to give them a break. Doesn't really matter where you put them as long as it's before the filter. Update a row. I'm just going to enter manually. We're just gonna put the inputs from here. So we have the spreadsheet ID is here, the sheet name is here, row number here, and we're gonna do A to Z column range, and we need J. Update J with sent. Okay. Good. I think we should be good to go. Let's let it run and see what happens. So let's go check out this company, see if they are qualified, and see what the results are. So they have a bunch of properties. That means they should be qualified. This is a certain state I can work in too. So this looks like it's definitely qualified. Let's see what the results are. It's been processed via Perplexity, and the row has been added because it is qualified. So let's go back to the automation. This is what the Perplexity output looked like. Where essentially they just gathered all this information about Advantix Development Corp. And then based on all that research, the output was qualified. And because the output was not qualified, it passed through and the row was added. The next thing that I would do is I would change this to three rows a minute. So run once. So as we can see, there are 3 bundles from this one search instead of 1. So the first one was already complete. It looks like that was not qualified. The second one's going. That one was qualified, and now the third one is running. And that one was not qualified. So if we turn this on to run every minute, that means in 100 minutes, all 300 rows will be searched. And once you have this automation built, all it takes is for you to set up a spreadsheet, test it out real quick, and then have it run while you do something else. It'll save you a lot of time, because qualifying companies takes a lot of time. And to schedule it, all you have to do is go here, 1 minute, save, activate, and we're good to go. So in 100 minutes, this will be done, and I'll be ready to dump all these qualified leads into a database. So I appreciate you watching and tuning in. I hope you learned a lot, and I'll see you next time.